here every time and just feel sick. To look at it is just awful.
Several people have told Fox 26 News a Valley landscaping company isn't guilty of just a couple mistakes, but rather hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage. The man who owns that company, Joshua David Mitchell, is a former Sanger mayor who resigned and faced fines for conflicts of interest. Fox 26 reporter Marie Edinger has spent weeks digging into JDM landscaping. Here is her report.
I've spoken with 4 people in total who told me they had awful experiences with JDM landscaping. We know there are many more out there.
Every day I walk out here and I'm just sick. I think my poor parents must be thinking, what did I do to you? What did you do to my house? It breaks my heart because I loved this place.
Lisa Wicks hired Joshua David Mitchell to renovate her childhood home in 2019 after seeing recommendations online. She says the experience was traumatic.
I beat myself up about it for the last 2.5 years, knowing that I had done this destruction to my childhood home and disrespected my parents.
Wicks says JDM built a driveway she didn't ask for as a, quote, present. It was built at a slant and flooded her garage.
Antique furniture that has been in the house since 1958 that we hope to salvage and do, and it's destroyed.
There's also this $38,000 fence that shakes violently and has nails and screws still sticking out. It was supposed to be made of white oak, but a specialist told Lisa it's fir. Records show JDM charged for 24 glass panes, but only installed 5. There are planters built in such a way that an arborist told Wicks will be deadly to the trees. Flower pots glued to the cement using grout, another, quote, gift. Then there's a stairway JDM tried 3 times to build, then gave up.
This was supposed to be ADA compliant. It wasn't, obviously.
Wicks commissioned a forensic construction defect investigation. The report is 79 pages long. Issues range from significant visual defect to improper and non-professional. The word unsafe is in there 16 times. The report says some things were done without a permit.
We did the forensics report because he was trying to charge us more than the contract and was coming back with all these change orders that we had never agreed to and sign, and was wanting money for it.
She has documentation of those change orders she never signed. One of them was for a fire pit she says she told Mitchell she didn't want.
We left on vacation, and he built this hole.
And then there's something that's more emotionally damaging than financial. Wicks says she found her deceased mother's pajamas and underwear wrapped inside a pond filter to keep it quiet. What did you think when you saw that? What was your reaction?
I was mortified that he would go into our personal things and take out something to do that. Moreover, that he completely said, well, you gave me permission. I would have never given permission to do that. It just breaks my heart that it was just another way of being violated. The pond people that came out said, oh, we fixed a couple of his ponds.
In the end, JDM charged just under $300,000. It'll cost Wicks another $130,000 to rip it out and another $200,000 or so to redo with another company. Her lawyer says it would cost $150,000 to pursue JDM in court.
I just don't have the money to do it. I mean, it's just impossible for me to finance that. Plus another $150,000 to go after him without the idea that we'd ever collect anything.
Vache Mukhtarian is suing JDM Landscaping.
Now we're having to piece pieces together to make our backyard livable and safe.
He's having to redo about a third of his pavers. He says a pizza oven JDM built collapsed after a year. A concrete counter collapsed as well.
And unfortunately, the only thing that was holding that foam together was nails like this that were barely going in, maybe. So there was no structural support again on it. So half of it collapsed and I had to take down the other half because I do have young kids.
Mukhtarian started posting online, and people started reaching out, saying they'd gone through similar problems. A family in Reedley tells me it paid double to hire another contractor to tear out a pavilion JDM built. Kim Smaldino had water building up over concrete slabs JDM poured. She says Mitchell told her he'd level it out, but she says that leveler turned out to be paint that later chipped. When cracks started forming in her flower bed, she says Mitchell told her it was the Santa Barbara look. Mukhtarian says Mitchell told him the exact same thing when he complained about his cracks. Even more concerning?
When it rained, we had a lot of the lower areas of our pavers flood because the drainage you put down wasn't going anywhere. They were fake drains that were on there, and all the water was going towards that. drain.
Sorry, what do you mean fake drains?
He had one here and one drain here, but the drain was just a pipe in the ground with a lid on it. So it really, when the water came over here, it wasn't really going anywhere.
The state contractor's licensing board says it isn't able to confirm how many complaints were made about JDM landscaping, but citations based on those complaints are public record. I pulled those citations. They show some of the exact same things people talked with Fox 26 News about: doing work without permits, exceeding contract amounts, improper change orders. What did he say when you told him, hey, this collapsed, or hey, this isn't level?
Nothing.
And the other thing that's crazy is, he has this long list of everything that he's done wrong, and he still has an active license.
The CSLB told me there is a process for license revocation and suspension, which is done after a thorough investigation, and then an accusation is filed by the Attorney General's office. This is sought for the most egregious cases and usually involves multiple serious acts.
So how do you protect someone else from being hurt?
I first reached out to Joshua Mitchell on February 21st. He sent me over to his lawyer. On Thursday, February 24th, his lawyer suggested we do the interview that following Tuesday, but then Mitchell never confirmed the interview time. I said we could interview Wednesday or today, but never heard back from them. In Fresno, Marie Edinger, Fox 26 News.
Vachi Mokhtarian and another family split JDM's $15,000 bond, but that amounts to less than 4% of what Mokhtarian says he paid. On our website, you can learn more about the complaint process with the contractor's licensing board, and you can learn how to file one yourself.